Hello and welcome to the online tutorial which is going to be looking at PebblePad, which is the university's electronic or e-portfolio system. Just a quick overview of how it works basically. You can access PebblePad through various different ways. You can access it, there's probably a link on your desktop for e-portfolio. You can access it through Wolf. And there's probably other ways as well, but it's fairly straightforward. It's easy enough. You can do it on or off campus. When you load up PebblePad, you will get a screen not dissimilar to this. You can customise this to your own purposes should you wish to, but you will still get essentially these same rules. You might have pebbles, you can change it so it's little people, things like that. Okay, if you want to do that, I think it's under Tools, and you can go into Settings, and then you can mess around with the different colours, change all the different colours, there's all sorts. Have a play there, I would suggest. You can get different appearances, so you can have little people in a house, all sorts of things like that. What I'm just going to be mainly concentrating on today is the basic functionality of PebblePad. Essentially, PebblePad is an online store that enables you to build a portfolio of work, and it allows you to then share that portfolio of work with other people. In this case, you'll be sharing it with us on the module in order for you for us to assess your work. The basic structure of it is if you go to the View section and you can go to your assets. Okay, now I've got quite a few in here because these are built up over some time. You've got different sorts of assets. You've got an asset is basically something that you've created or uploaded into your store. Now your asset store is private to you. We cannot see what is in your asset store. You've got different icons according to what's in your asset store. So you've got things for files, for documents, for learning profiles, things like that. This particular one is the one we're going to be interested in, which is actually the web folio itself. So the web folio is essentially the folder where we can put other smaller pieces of work, and it's the web folio itself that's going to be what is termed published and how your work will be assessed. So the web folio itself, according to how we set it up, there may be different ways of actually getting this web folio into your template, so I'm not going to go into that. We'll just assume you've got it. Okay, the web folio itself, then, you get a basic template, and if you click on that, you get various options. Okay, the one you want is you can hover over this little pencil and paper icon, and it says Edit this asset. What you can then do is you can enter different things, so you can put your name there, you can mess around and make it all sorts of different colours and things like that, make it look different, so you can personalise it for your own personal preference. You can change how it looks in terms of the navigation bars. The main one is on tab number 4 here, where you can actually change and add content. So the web folio itself has various different sections. So it's split up. Presently I'm looking at, you've got 5 different main sections where the content for the assessment is going to go, and there's an extra one that sort of has got extra study skills for all the work you may wish to upload. Okay. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. So I'm going to close that without saving, because I'm just going to show you a few other bits and pieces. So with the web folio, you will need to put content in. So as I said, I've got lots of other things in here, but when you start, yours will be empty. One thing you can do then is you can add an external file. Okay, if you want to add an external file, like a Word document or an Excel document, it's fairly straightforward. Just go to Upload File, go to Single File. What you can then do is you can give it a title. so you can tell what it is, and you'll need to do that. You can put a description if you want. The main thing here is if you go to the upload file icon, it will then bring up a little browse box. So for example, if I pick a file, any file. Okay, so say I wanted to open and upload, I don't know, it doesn't particularly matter, any document. Okay, so say if I wanted to upload that one, I have to say yes, it's mine, I'm entitled to upload it. Click the upload button. Again, you've got options there to add reflections and stuff if you want to. Various other options there, you don't particularly need to choose any of these. The main one is you just say save and close. Okay, you'll see my little asset counter has just ticked up, and if I go to my asset store again, it has then appeared. Okay, so what I can do if I want to is I can view that asset, and it will just allow me to open up the Word or whatever document it is. Just take a second because I've got plenty on the go. I'm a bit slow today. So that'll open up the document. One thing to remember that is important with that is that once you upload a Word or an Excel document or something like that, it's essentially like a snapshot of it. You can't go into PebblePad, edit that Word document, and those edited changes will be reflected in the copy that are there. Okay, so if it's a Word or an Excel or an external document, make sure you're happy with it before you upload it. You can upload it. If you need to change it, you've got to do it off PebblePad and upload another different copy. If you're uploading lots of files, just make sure you name them properly so you know what everything is and you don't get confused. So that's how you upload an external file. You can also do files using the PebblePad software, so you can create things like learning profiles. And there's various different ones on there. These are the sort of ones that are loaded on there. You can upload these. That's just something to mention. Most of the time you'll be using sort of external documents. So that's how you upload a file. In terms of how you put that file into your webfolio is a fairly straightforward process. Okay, so example. So I want to put this example file I put in my asset store into my webfolio. So I'm going to click on my webfolio, like I did before. I'm going to go to edit this asset, and then I'm going to go to tab number 4. Find the section I want to put it in. I will put it, for the sake of it, I'm going to put it in, I don't know, data manipulation. Okay, if I leave it there, I go to the edit page icon, and it will bring up my edit screen. In terms of the screen, there's already some text on there because that's the template document. When you link things to your webfolio, you can essentially, it's like creating a hyperlink, basically. So what you can do is you can, if you want to, you can type new text in. So what I might put is, I say here is a link to document. Okay, so I can use the text that's there and link from that, or I can add new text in and link from that, so long as it's clear what you're doing. It's essentially the same process. So you can highlight text, and then what you do is you go to this little icon here that looks like a chain, and it says, if you hover over it, it says add a link to your webfolio. You click on that, and it will bring up your asset store again. You select the asset you wish to link. Again, this is why it's important to label them properly so you know what everything is. So I'm going to click my example document, and then I just hover over this little button that says add link, and that will disappear, and it will save it. So what you can see is this has now gone blue, and it is essentially a hyperlink for all intents and purposes. If I'm happy with that, I say save and close. And that's it. Okay, if I want to see what that looks like, I can click on that section. Rather than go to edit page, I can go to view page, which gives us the view that we will see of your web folio. So if I hover over the link I created, I can click on that, it will open that. In the same way as before I showed you, I can then view that document. So this is the view that we get of your web folio. So we can click through, and essentially you need to add the content by putting links in to each appropriate section. Okay, some of these there is a bit of blurb there that tells you what should be linked and where. Just make it nice and clear, link it in easily, and you can't go wrong. Just make sure you're linking the right stuff in the right place. I would check once you've uploaded things, make sure your links do actually work. It's always worth doing that, because every year there's somebody who managed to mess it up somehow and their links don't link to anything at all. Or they'll make a link and then delete something from their asset store and it won't link properly to their web folio copy. So that's the web folio. In terms of what you've got, whilst it's still in your asset store, we still cannot access it, we cannot see it. So what you'll need to do in order to submit your work, that submission process is called publishing. So if you click on your web folio, whereas before most of the things you've been doing are an edit this asset, if you go send to and click on gateway, it will bring up a list of gateways. Now I've got again loads on there because I've been messing around with this sort of thing for years, so I've still got loads. You should only have one, so don't worry about that. Okay, so it should say something like studying professional skills and it will say 13, 14. So you click on that and then you just tick and click on that little box that says publish to gateway. Now I don't know if this will work. You just get a warning that says again, because it's officially submitting work, you are being checked for plagiarism. Obviously it is work that you're submitting to any other university assessment and it needs to conform to the university guidelines. So you say publish, okay. My one can be locked, so that didn't work. I was wondering if that would happen, because that gateway is locked at the minute. Okay, but what you'll get is it will bring up a new window that shows that your web folio has been published in the gateway, and you should also receive an email to your university email account to that effect as well. You don't need to do anything about it, you can just close it. Once your web folio is in the gateway, any changes you make to that web folio, so if you change assets, you add assets into it, will be reflected in the copy in the gateway. So essentially it's a live link until the deadline for assessment, when the gateway is then closed and locked as it was there, and then it essentially becomes a fixed copy, so you cannot change anything. So until the assessment deadline, you can still publish your web folio and you can still change things quite happily. It does it automatically. So you don't need to upload single assets into the gateway. If you do, they'll be ignored or deleted. We can only look at what is in your web folio. So it's the process. You upload the documents, you use that linking process in the web folio to link the right thing to the right page, and then you upload your web folio and publish it into the gateway. Okay? And that's how it all pieces together.